Welcome to my video, Stash the Cash. It's me, Mrs. Lex, checking in with another video. Today, it's not about checking in with saving challenges. This is actually story time, but all of the story times that I will be relating to or talking about on this channel, it's to do with saving. So they kind of interlink and connect. And today I want to talk about saving a petrol fund for my partner. And why? Well, first of all, I am semi-retired and my husband retired this April 2023. So I knew when he was going to retire and I knew what he wanted to do when he retired. So one of the things that he wanted to do was purchase a nice retirement vehicle. And because I knew about this the year before, I was thinking to myself, I'd like to save a petrol fund for him, because I know that when you have a car on the road, and I've had a car on the road before, purchased a car before, I know what it takes. And I just thought, well, I'm going to save a petrol fund for him because it's one less thing to think about when you've got like a petrol fund. So the plan was he was going to get his vehicle this July 2023. It had been ordered and it was going to come in from Sunderland, the manufacturers in Sunderland. But because there was some hiccups with parts, it hasn't actually happened. However, because I was saving the petrol fund from last year, I was doing it slowly and I talked about it. I don't think anybody took me seriously, but I was doing my thing and saving the fund. And I actually had a figure in mind, and I thought to myself, you know, when he gets his vehicle, it might be nice to give him like a couple of hundred, like £500. But what actually happened was I actually exceeded that amount and I actually saved for him 750, which was gifted to him around June because the car was supposed to arrive in July. And yeah, he was quite surprised about that. And yeah, he was quite happy and he said, you know, you've got money. And I said, no, I don't. I've been saving it. But anyway, I just wanted to alleviate one thing less that he has to do. Because, you know, when you have a car, what it entails, there's insurance, there's an MOT, there's congestion charge, there's penalty, tickets and so forth. So I gifted him these funds, and the only thing I said to him when I gifted it to him, I said to him, I'm giving you these funds and it's for petrol, but the only thing I want from you is that every time you purchase any petrol from these funds, I want you to keep the receipt because I want to track it. I just want to see roughly how much petrol you use, like weekly, monthly, and at the end of the year, just a figure of how much roughly you would be spending, because you're not doing a 9 to 5. It's purely leisure or shopping. So I just wanted to see how much petrol you would get through. And he was okay for that. You know, I gifted him the funds, and I actually put it in my, because I want to track it. So I actually put it in my my binder here. And I'm just going to look at when I actually gave it to him. Just going to flick through the binder. So, and it says here, I could show it to you. It says petrol funds, new car, and I gave it to him on the 13th of the 7th. No, I gave it to him, sorry, on the 30th of the 6th. And I think he used £50 because he hired a vehicle to go to Leicester. My son's at uni there, so that's why it's only £700 left. So he was happy about that, and I was happy to do that for him. And the other thing that I said I would do, I said, although I gifted him these funds, I said every month I would add £50 to it, to that amount, you know, just, you know, it'll always be topping up. Will always be topping up. So he's still awaiting his retirement vehicle from Sunderland. I'm not saying that this amount is amazing. I'm not saying that it's going to cover everything. But what I do know, it will be helpful, because I've driven before and I know what it's like when you've got to fill the tank. My husband is the sort of person, he will drive around and around for the cheapest petrol, but that's where he and I disagree. I think that the time you take driving around looking for cheaper petrol, you've wasted so much petrol driving around to find that spot. You might as well just get the petrol where you originally were, fill the tank or whatever you want to do and come home. That's where we differ in opinion. So anyway, I haven't added anything to that amount because the car hasn't arrived. And it's due to arrive in September. So when it arrives in September, I said I would add £50 a month to it. And I'm the sort of person, I like to think ahead. And I like to feel that I am helpful or of some use to the person that I am with. And I know that if I had a vehicle and my partner was giving me some petrol fund, whether he wants to do it a one-off or monthly or quarterly, I would be grateful, because everything's so expensive anyway. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because I actually had to save. I had been saving for this from last year, so I started saving in 2022 and I was soldering along, and like I said, I was trying to get to 500, but I actually exceeded it. It was 750, and I thought, well, you know, that's enough. That's enough. I mean, if you gave that amount to anyone, they'd be a happy bunny, because they're, oh, here's that's just the petrol. I'm sure they would be happy. So that's what I've done, and I'm happy that I could do that. But what I wanted to highlight is, how did I get there? It wasn't a loan. It wasn't a credit card. It was just about putting some money away, not a lot, a tenner here, there and everywhere, until it got to that amount. So that's why we're going back to savings. If I didn't make the start, I would not have got there. And it's self-explanatory. You have to start somewhere. And even if it was less, I would have given it and he would have been happy. He wouldn't have said, oh, well, it's only X amount. So everything kind of interlinks. And the one thing I wanted to highlight is that I've never been a lastminute.com person. And what I mean by a lastminute.com person, I don't know if it's the female inside of me. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I've always thinking ahead. Always thinking about next month, next week, next month, next year. What can I do? What needs to be done? And I don't know if that is strange to some people, or you just live day by day. But I like to think ahead, because I think that when you have a family, you have to think about everybody's needs. And a lot of the time, you know, when you are a mother, it's everybody first and you last. But what I wanted to highlight that is so important is, this could not have been done if I didn't start to save. So it just goes to show how important saving is. You know, as simple as a tenner a week, and it just added up. I had a target of £500 and it actually exceeded. So my question to you, my viewers, is, have you ever given a petrol fund to your nearest and dearest? I mean, what do you think? Do you think I'm doolally? Do you think I've lost the plot? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's mediocre? Do you think it's not a big deal? Do people do that kind of thing every day? I don't know, because nobody's ever given me that amount. But I know that any blessing is better than no blessing. So this is a story that I wanted to share with you, because I know that when those funds were handed to him, how he felt, what he said. And he seemed to be very appreciative because he thinks, well, my car's on its way and I've got all this petrol money. And he was a happy bunny. Yeah, I mean, he only has £700 of it because obviously he's used 50 because we hired a car to do something, but it's £700 that he didn't have. It's £700 that he doesn't have to find. When his car arrives, he's got all this money to do what you want to do, go where you want to go. You haven't got to think, oh, you know, I haven't got any petrol or petrol's so expensive. I still kind of think that he's going to be driving around looking for the cheapest petrol, but that's just his way of doing things. But the greatest thing is that I talked about something, I actioned it, I did it, I delivered. So, and it all comes down to being an active saver. And that was achieved by just saving £10 here and there. No pressure. Nobody sticking me in the side saying what's going on, at my own pace, my own choice. So I just want to share that story with you, and then hope that it might inspire anyone that if they want to do something special or do something significant for their partner or family or friend, that a tenner in here and there, it adds up. Yeah, it really does add up. £40 a month adds up. Don't allow anyone to put you down. Don't allow anyone to say it's nothing. It adds up. The months roll over, it will add up. And the proof is in the pudding, and I've done it, and I've delivered, and I feel good about it. I feel good about it. I don't know. He was happy when he got it. He hasn't used any of it as such, a great part of it. But it's something, oh, it's a memory that he will always have. Just waiting for the car, and it will be with us shortly. And he can go and fill the tank effortlessly. So if you've ever done anything like this for your significant half, please comment and tell me why you did it, how you did it. Was it easy? Was it difficult? Or have this been done for you? I don't know. I've never experienced this, but I just wanted to do something for him. And also, speaking about retirement, my husband isn't on his last leg. He's actually 55, so he's taken early retirement because he can afford to do so. But even so, we're in a cost of living crisis and everything adds up. And if one person can do one thing significant for you, or one less thing that you have to think about, it's a bonus. I think it's a win-win. And in life, you know, we have to think about each other and consider each other, because I think that when you take steps to be a nicer person, you know, it will be a domino effect. It will always come back to you, and sometimes it comes back to you in full force, and you think, oh, this is amazing. And it might have been just because you showed kindness in some small way, you've got it back tenfold. So I just wanted to highlight this very simple, small story, and hope that it will inspire any one of you out there to put away a £10 a week and not think about it, because you know you're on a mission to do something, and you're going to do it, and you're going to deliver, and you're going to put a smile on that person's face, whether it be your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, uncle, auntie or niece, because you care and you think about them and you're going to do it. So we've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this short story. Please comment and tell me what you think. It'll be very interesting to hear the different views from different people. So thank you for watching. Take care. Remember, pennies make pounds and pounds have use.